and welcome to Race Streamer, and welcome to a brilliantly sunny Snetterton in May. I'm here to see the GT Cup today and to hopefully meet up and speak to a couple of drivers, give you a bit of an insight on why they got into racing, who they're racing with, what championships, all that stuff to do with getting started in motorsport. Okay, so I'm here with Matt Wright. He's racing in the Trackday Championship, and she's here to ask him a few questions about why he's chosen the Trackday Championship and his experience so far. So, yeah, this is Matt. How comes you chose to jump into the Trackday Championship first off? It's an MSV Championship.
Yeah, right? I mean, Trackday Championship is, it's great. It's, everyone's quite polite to each other. The racing's really good. Like, driving standards is really high, and it's a full grid. And there's not much places you're going to go where you get to battle it out with different types of cars, different classes, with like a 30+ car grid.
Yeah, and for the record, I was at Brands Hatch yesterday, and I didn't tell you this, but there was a Jaguar race yesterday. It was the first Project 8 race, and there were two cars.
Yeah, exactly.
You only need two cars for a race, but it was rubbish to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, and I think that's the thing with the MSV, Trackday Championship, is that every race we get and we come to big events, everyone says what a good race that Trackday Championship was. And I know it's not televised or things like that, but fundamentally there's a lot of people to watch it, and sometimes you go around with quite a lot of high profile stuff. So like this weekend we've got the GT Cup, and that's quite a high profile event, and even like the Radicals, they're televised. So people will know, right, you do the Trackday Championship. And for people who think, but it's Trackday Championship, you go, but it's still a proper championship. It's still 30 cars, 30 drivers, 30+ drivers, because you get 2-man teams, and it's great.
Yeah, because for real, the way they kind of market it being like a sort of first stepping stone into motorsport, it makes it seem almost like not proper. But from what you're describing, it's like, no, bang in straight away, it's proper racing, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, you've got drivers that drive in it that have only just started, you've got drivers in it that have done like 2 or 3 years, and you've got drivers that have driven, raced for 10 years. It is a fun championship. It's still competitive. Racing's firm but fair, and and it's just a great championship to run it.
Oh, fair play. So, how did the when you were considering what to enter racing-wise, did you weigh up financials of this championship versus others?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I think you obviously, when you're then looking at what you want to do year by year, or even for your first year, you sort of have you think, right, can I afford this? Can I afford that? And obviously, I was looking at other things like the Cooper, the Cooper S and Pro Am that's here this weekend, and obviously the price difference is quite a big jump. But obviously, the higher you pay, the more of a stepping stone it is to go into something else. Whereas with Trackday Championship, it's a good way to pay minimum price but still have good race experience. And even if you're new or whether you're a bit rusty, it's a good way of gaining confidence and gaining experience, and so that's why I said to myself, right, look at the pricings. Do I want to run my own car? Do I race with a team? Want to race with a team? Found a team. That is the price. Good price. That's it. Happy days. You do it around.
Yeah. That's good. It's just good as its own little standalone. And then you can find what you want to do from there.
I mean, if you want to step up a class, go up to MSV Super Cup. You can. If you have got a little bit of cash floating about, you can then you can go and do something else. It is a stepping stone in some degree, but I wouldn't say you can't go up to then, so Minis, Cooper Am Pro, up to then JCWs. It's not kind of that, but it all still goes down on a sheet. You've done 11 races, and say you've won 9 out of 11 of Trackday Championship. Still a good achievement.
It's bragging rights.
Exactly. Exactly.
How do you find the class system?
Yeah, class system's quite good. It is quite fair. There's obviously some, as you go forward in the years, just year by year, you'll get a lot of cars that will come into the classes whether it be B, C, D, whatever, that do have a lot more performance, just because they are newer.
Yeah.
And you know, then you'd have to put more money into an older spec car to then get up to the performance of something that is newer.
Yeah.
So
hence you in the Puma versus the Fiesta.
Yeah, Fiestas. Right? You know, so like I was saying earlier, the Fiestas in Class D are full spec junior, Fiesta Cup cars. You know, and the quality of products that get put into them when they get built is of high quality. So if you are spending money on a car to build yourself, you've got to kind of put that in perspective of, right, so what am I racing against?
Yeah.
And in terms of the Puma, as I said, it can keep up with them, on most circuits, but there's obviously the odd circuit where it is a little bit harder. You know, you might only be like half a second off or a second off, but it's it's not a massive amount, and you can make up that time, in the race or wherever really. Yeah. But the class system is good. It is good. There's such a variety of cars that it's you've just got to look at the power to weights and go, right, I want this kind of car and race at this kind of level. And it's the same thing like we were saying with progression. It's you might start at Class D and go, actually I've done really well in Class D, I want to put more money into this car, make it a Class C car.
Yeah.
And go, right, I want to race against them people instead. And and that's where it is a quite good thing to have the multi-class.
All right, well, thanks for your time with that.
No worries, you're welcome.
Nice one. So far so good. Getting really good vibes from being in this paddock here. It's super busy with all the GT Cup and the F3 here, and as Matt was saying just then, it feels pretty prestigious being here today because of the number of cars and drivers here, so it feels really busy compared, especially because I was at Brands Hatch yesterday, and yes, it was a Saturday, so it was qualifying day, but the paddock was half empty. Whereas you look around now, and literally everywhere you look, there's trailers, there's cars, there's people working. It's awesome. Getting out of the way of the radicals. So this is Sam Randon. He's racing for Team Harding GT Cup this year. He's got a Ginetta GT4. G55 GT4. Yeah, that's the one. Cool. He was just explaining the difference between the GT4 Super Cup spec and GT4 for the British GT Championship and GT Cup. Yeah. So Sam's just going to tell us a bit about his experience in motorsport so far. So, where did you start to get here?
My career started back in 2009, sort of age 13, when Dad got me my first TKM. We did 3, 4, 5 years of karting, British Championship stuff, and then made the move into car racing in 2013. Started off in the Michelin Clio Cup Series, which was new that year.
Yeah.
Started off in the road car class, which was literally, go out, buy a car off Auto Trader, kit it out, run it on road tyres. Did a year of that, and then progressed into the Gen 3 Clio Cup car, the ex-Clio Cup car.
Yeah.
Did 2-3 years of that. 2017 we did a year, two rounds of Clio Cup UK due to budget constraints.
Right, okay.
Last couple of years really have been tough because as we try and progress up the ladder, the budgets are getting bigger and bigger, hence why that year we ended 2 rounds. Last year I made inquiries into looking into the GT4, so we were looking at British GT. Started off actually in this championship last year in a Maserati GT4. Absolutely phenomenal car. Fortunately we were struggling for a second driver. In the end we ended up having to walk away because didn't work out because we couldn't get another driver, unfortunately.
Right.
And in that time of doing nothing, after the round 1 of GT Cup last year, we spoke to Tony, and he got me on board in his Brit car team last year, and then I've not looked back since. I've been with Tony since.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely phenomenal setup he's got, and the way he looks after us as drivers is great.
Yeah, so Team Hart's a big national squad in the way that they run in lots of different championships. So did you have your sights set on GT Cup specifically, or were you just interested in working with Team Hard? What was it?
The main thing was working with Team Hard. I don't think we would be on the grid, one, without the sponsors, two, without Team Hard.
Yeah.
They definitely help us out, like I said, as drivers quite significantly. But yeah, this year it was a case of looking at the options. Brit car was an option again, GT Cup, new championship, touring car trophy, because I actually drove Tony's Toyota Avensis in the last round of Brit car last year.
Oh, cool, okay.
I loved it. But yeah, it would have been nice to do the touring car trophy. It was a bit unknown, really. It's a new championship, and as the grids show, they've had to combine it with TCT.
Yeah.
But I think there's only 2-3 TCT cars, which is a shame because it could be a great championship.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what comes of it, and it might be an option in the future.
So how's the grid for GT Cup? Because, like, for the record, I was at Brands Hatch yesterday for Britcar, and there was 18 cars on the grid.
Right.
So it wasn't too busy, and it was a right old mixture of cars. So by lap 5, the field was spread out by about a whole lap. It was ridiculous, yeah. So how does this compare? Like, what's the grid sizes in this?
So, I mean, to be fair, what car? We've got 18, 19 cars on the grid, I think. But we've got, I mean, I'm in class GTH, which is for the current GT4 spec cars. And in our class we've got 5-6 cars, so it's a good grid for our class. In GTA, which our sister car is in, I think there is 3 cars, and then there'll be a few cars in a couple of the other classes. But they're quite a bit faster than us, so they don't really come into our race other than us being lapped by them.
Because they're more GT3 spec?
Closer to GT3 spec, yeah, quite considerably faster than us.
Right, and it's not something that is necessarily clear, at least to me personally, but how much of a performance difference is there between a GT3 type car and GT4?
Oh.
Where's the big difference? Is it in down? Is it aero? Right.
Aero, top speed, power.
It's just everything.
Just everything. Just GT4 on steroids.
Right. Okay then. So is that something that you're aiming for, or are you just taking this year as it happens? And
taking this year as it happens. This year it's just crucial that I do a full season for me. After having sort of 2 years of bitting and bobbing. So last year, like I said, I joined Tony. The first time I was with him, I was filling a seat whilst someone's partner was on their honeymoon, and then I had a different partner every weekend.
Yeah.
But Tony's got, he's got a big book of drivers, so he's able to fill the seats.
Cool. And how do you find sharing your car, or not your car, but how do you find sharing the car with other drivers? Because, like, I guess when you started out in karting, it was just you.
Yeah. It's the main thing is getting everything set up.
Because everything's a compromise, right? Slightly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite lucky, I suppose. Me and Josh are, I suppose, quite similar driving styles.
That's cool.
So the car, we both feel the car the same, we interpret it the same, and it behaves the same for us. So we don't have too much, what's the word? We don't have too much disagreement on how the car feels and what we want to do with the car.
Yeah, so you don't go out and then he comes in and then he says, I want it changed back to how it was.
Yeah, we don't have any conflicting
that's
feedback,
good.
Which is really good.
That's really important. Yeah.
We're able to get the best out of it then. It's sharing the car, sticker space wise, can be difficult. When you've got 2 drivers that have got lots of sponsors and lots of stickers, you've got to share that out equally.
Well, thanks a lot for your time with that.
No problem.
So, a total contrast, they're talking to Sam from Team Hard. So this is a very serious team that I've just met up with the driver from, and I could tell when I was talking to him before that interview, he is so focused on the race. So compared with Matt, who I spoke to earlier, Matt's just clearly having a great time being here, taking part, whereas Sam is extremely focused on results and trying to win. He was telling me that yesterday didn't go quite so well for him, so he was very stern about trying to do well today. And it makes a big difference when you've got, it seems like when you've got sponsors who've got a vested interest in you, then you feel like there's a bit more, I don't know, you could argue there's a bit more pressure on you to perform, and you want to do well for yourself as well. Okay, heading back home now because I've just seen the MSV Trackday Championship race and well impressed by the racing. It was super close, really fair racing, lots of overtaking opportunities, so that definitely looks like a really good championship to take part in for anyone looking to get into motorsport. And thanks again to Matt and Sam for their time talking to me today. Let me know if you guys watching are interested in seeing more interview style videos with other drivers. If you liked it, like the video, comment on it, tell me what you think about it, and if you want to see more along those lines, then subscribe to my channel and click the bell thing, because apparently that lets you know that I actually release videos and you'll see it. Anyway, until next time.